I'm here at the Storage Summit, Open Solaris Storage Summit. My name is Mark Carlson. We're here with Evan Powell. Welcome, Evan.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thanks, Mark.
So, Evan, you're the CEO of Nexenta, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And you're using Open Solaris in your company's products, is that correct?
Right, absolutely. We wouldn't be here, obviously, at the summit, or we wouldn't be in the market either without Open Solaris.
So, how do you use Open Solaris in your product?
Well, the story is pretty simple. We actually started before Solaris was open. Our founders were involved in OpenSCSI on the Linux side, and they got very excited about what you could do in storage with Solaris. And so when it was first opened up, we grabbed it, and we've now built a couple of products on top of Open Solaris since that time.
Okay, and how does that relate to the storage industry?
Well, good question. Solaris is obviously a general purpose operating system, and what's quite interesting now is that with ZFS and other capabilities, it's arguably the best storage operating system available. We would certainly make that argument, and yet it is a general purpose operating system, and so that's a little bit unusual. We actually have partners who, before us, decided that they needed to more or less write their own operating system on their own, microkernel, their own processor, more or less, the whole stack. And the industry is changing because of Solaris, because of ZFS, and because of this whole ecosystem that is here today, where companies like us that just do software can truly offer enterprise-class NAS running on a general-purpose operating system and running on somebody's hardware. Often Sun's, but not always.
Oh, sure, but the whole idea, though, is commodity storage, right? Commodity disk drives, commodity CPU and memory as well.
Right, absolutely. If you look at some of our implementations, they're using commodity or industry standard gigabit Ethernet. They're using SATA drives, using a combination of drives out there. We all know from the Google experience that SATA drives can be made to create something that to the end user is super high performance, super reliability. And so the exercise is really to take excellence in the CPUs, excellence in the drives, the commoditization of the hardware, and turn it into something very useful to end users. And
So you've been then participating in the Open Solaris community for some time. How is that working out for your company?
so far, so good. It's working out great. In all seriousness, we were joking about this earlier, but usually when an open approach takes on a market, the value proposition is cheaper and almost as good as. And again, with ZFS and with Solaris, it's cheaper, more control, open, and better. It's a next generation file system. It's more than a file system, but ZFS is at the root of this. And we have customers, we have a case study on our site actually, from a video production company who came to us because they were very concerned about silent data corruption. And they do all sorts of video production, and they were considering us versus a $20,000 or $200,000 closed proprietary special piece of hardware. And they chose us at not that much money, right? A fraction of that, and they're using SATA and some iSCSI and a little bit of SAS. So a mixture of drives behind us, and we're providing that gateway, and thanks to ZFS, we're providing that end-to-end data integrity, and that's, again, we wouldn't be here, without that.
So now what are you considering working on in the future, and what do you plan to contribute back to the community?
Well, what you see, I think, as industries make transitions from closed proprietary hardware-based models to more open models is the pace of change accelerates, right? And so if we're going to play this game, we have to play by the rules. So we have to innovate, and so we have to move quickly. And so in our case, we're doing a couple of things, but one that we talked about today is actually focusing on virtual environments. and really the pain of administrators storage administrators are very happy that the administrators of server environments are having their lives made easier through virtualization. They're somewhat less happy in that this may actually make their lives harder, right? And so what we're trying to do is bridge that gap between storage and server administration through one UI that actually, or sets of UIs, that sits in our product and enables you to see all of your virtualized storage capabilities, all of your virtualized servers, and really manage the mappings and do all of the neat stuff. You can do things in part to ZFS and block level storage. Also do, easy things like, or straightforward common things like stop a VM, start a VM, clone a VM, all of that from one location. And the other piece that we announced today, or tried to draw attention to, is all of this is available via open APIs. So we believe in openness, and so anything that we do with our product, you can do as a developer as well. And so those are really the two things we talked about, focusing on literally the UIs for virtualization management, and then also, by the way, every piece of code we cut is open via APIs as well.
And how do you feel about this storage summit? Would that work for you? And will you be back again next year if we have it?
If you invite me back, I will be. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's we all essentially are helping to. I mean, Sun is leading, but we're all helping to create, tomorrow's storage industry, which is going to be a lot more open, a lot more fast-paced. There's going to be, I think, a lot more innovation, and as folks talked about today, you're going to have dramatically better price performance because of that innovation and openness. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, and I think, you may need a bigger venue, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right, thanks, Evan. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
All right.
You.